Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your live watch along for Manchester United against Everton. Yeah, they're playing against Johnny Evans. Yes, they're not playing against Johnny Evans, they're playing against Everton. And this is Ruben Amorim's first Premier League game at home at Old Trafford. We're expecting a win. And I tell you what, I'm actually very happy because basically picked Amorim's 11 in the preview yesterday. So let's get that up on the screen. I don't know why it's not working for me. This is just really annoying. Really annoying. Right, there we go. I've got it now. Let me get it up on the screen for you. There it is. Okay, so that's the lineup for Ruben Amorim. And welcome to Members Club, Col and Mora. Yeah, I mean, look, I suppose the positive, I would say here straight away, flying into the team news, is that the team I predicted, I didn't put Casemiro in, I put Eriksen in, but what's the bloody difference at the end of the day? They're both they're pretty much the same at this point, aren't they? Are they going to stay in, whatever. The big point was, I thought he'd rest Rasmus, I thought he'd rest Ugarte, and I thought he'd rest Garnacho with the game against Arsenal on Wednesday. They put a lot of effort into Thursday. I just didn't think he was going to do that. Rotation, freshness, getting your fitness in the game. So I thought that was absolutely nailed on. You could say, well, look, Mark, he's still picking Mazraoui. He's happy. He's still picking Bruno. Well, yeah, I don't think we're ever going to move past that. Whether that's a problem for you or not, it's not really a problem for me. But I don't think we're ever going to move past the fact that Bruno Fernandes plays every single minute of every manager that seems to be at Manchester United. He's the captain of the team. I suppose that's probably a big enough reason. But Xerxes up front, happy with that. Want to see what he's all about. I did predict last night that we could see a scenario where it's Super Xerxes today, scores a couple of goals, and people want to start him against Arsenal, and people forget about what Rasmus did on Thursday. Obviously, Mainu starts. I think that was logical as well. Some people were starting to get worried about that, but I think obviously he wants to give him a game from the start. And I think the way I feel quite positive about it is that it feels like we're starting to get to grips with our own manager. Lots of people saying Xerxes time in the chat. Obviously, you've come over from the forum. You're very welcome. Xerxes time from Beth, says Connor. I can see us scoring a few today, Mark, says enjoy writing. Well, look, I think that when you look at Amorim, first of all, and I've got my Amorim Christmas jumper on. It is December the 1st. If you want to get yours, links in the description. We do ship them worldwide. Got lots of Christmas jumpers for you. And I think you get 20% off this weekend because it's Black Friday weekend. Check it on the website while you can. United Stand Shopify. But I think that with regards to Amorim, we've been very impressed, a lot of us, with some of the stuff that he has said as the manager around we don't keep the ball very well, we don't work hard enough. Lots of things that we've been saying for years. But I also think that to basically pick his team for Everton was quite a rewarding thing. And I'm sure a lot of you picked a similar team to me. It's very different to the team he picked against Ipswich, and it's very different to the team he picked against Bodo Glimt. But if you listen to Amorim and you take him on face value, you can predict his actions. And he did say, I need to give everybody game time. I need to rotate. Their fitness levels are going to come in the game. I want them to absolutely have nothing left when they come off the pitch because they're not going to train tomorrow. So I looked at that Bodo Glimt game and I thought, well, Rasmus played 90 minutes and gave everything. Garnacho played 90 minutes and gave everything. And Ugarte gave 90 minutes and gave everything. So those three players for me were very obvious to leave out today with Arsenal on Wednesday. And also, Xerxes needed a start. We need to see Rashford behind the striker starting. We needed to see Mainu play as well. So I think that I'm not unhappy with the team that he's picked. I don't know what your thoughts are. Let us know in the chat. But I'm happy with that team. I think the three of Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez could well be the first area of the pitch where we're starting to see that's his strongest three centre-backs. I mean, look, I'm sure Yoro and Maguire and Lindelof might have something to say about that, but I think that's starting to become the situation. Ahmad is starting to pin down that right-hand side. Delo on the left, I'm not convinced about, but look, he's probably the best option we've got at the moment. Mainu and Casemiro, opportunity in there as well. And then obviously Rashford, Bruno and Xerxes, which we've mentioned before. Thanks for your super chat, Rob. He says, cracking Sunday with cracking games. Let's go. Yeah, I will be doing Man City at Liverpool after this. But first of all, let's get Man United out of the way with 3 points. I have a feeling Xerxes going to have a good game, says Lib. I just realised that Amorim runs a Christmas tree, says Connor Cox, and I can see us scoring a few today, says Enjoy Writing. Well, look, a lot of people asking about the bench. I am going to talk about Rashford, because when do we not talk about Rashford? And a lot of people in the chat are talking about him. Effectively, Man United's bench today is Binder, Garnacho, Maguire, Malacia, Mount, Shaw, Agate, Rasmus, Anthony. So still no place for Lenny Yoro. It's interesting about Lenny Yoro that he was actually predicted to be back for the Arsenal game months ago and might not be back for the Arsenal game because he's not back for the game before it. So we looked at that Arsenal game when he was injured in I think it was late September, and thought, oh, hopefully he can get back before that. But yeah, he's not on the bench today. But Harry Maguire is, and Johnny Evans isn't on the bench again as well. I don't know whether that's injury or not, but no place for Johnny Evans. Obviously, I think Lindelof is injured. So the bench is reasonable, and we're quite confident about that. We'll talk about Everton in a minute, but let me just talk about Rashford, because a lot of people talking about Marcus Rashford and saying, why is he starting? Who would you start instead of Rashford today? You can't start Garnacho because he needs to be rested. I've just realised, well, Mason Mount could have started, couldn't he? Mason Mount could have started. I think that's a fair point, but I don't think he's ever going to play Bruno and Mount together very often. I don't think they'll work. And I think when I look at, I'm quite relaxed about this, because when I look at Rashford, he can't play where Ahmad's playing in this system here. He can't play there. He hasn't got the work rate to do that. Maybe Garnacho hasn't, we don't know, but Rashford hasn't got the work rate to play as a right wing back when we've got to defend. So forget the wings. He's not going to play there unless he reinvents himself. I don't think he can play up front, as we saw last week. As a stopgap, yes, but I don't think he can play up front. So the only place for Rashford in this team is in the two places behind the striker. And I said this in the international break before Amorim even came here. I said the only place I can see him playing in this Amorim system is behind the striker. Now, the interesting thing is that I think it can work. I'm not going to predict it's going to work because I think that's just dangerous, but I think it can work. We saw glimpses against Bodo Glimt of how Rasmus can pull the centre-backs towards the halfway line and then Rashford can run beyond them. That is quite interesting, and obviously he nearly scored from that. So that is an option. He's the only way he's got a future at United is in one of these two positions. Now, you might not want him to play there, but to me, this is a guy who is the superstar of the team in relation to the PR, the wage, and the status. You can argue with that, but it's true. So if Amorim has got a directive to get the best out of all of his team before he makes a decision, he's got to put Rashford in the position where he's got the best chance. And the best chance for Rashford is in behind the striker. So I haven't got no problem with this. I think Amorim's given him a chance, and today is a chance for him. The interesting thing is, if you look at it more positively, how does this work? Well, I think with Rashford, he is overrated in the sense that I think some people think he can be one of the best players in the world, and I don't think he can. I also think he became very predictable. When he plays on the wing in his favourite position, he either cuts inside or shoots, or takes too many people on. That makes him very easy to double up on. By moving him into a different position, he might actually generate a little bit more space to do the things he wants to do. Get the shot off, take people on. He might not be as easy to double up on when he's playing more centrally. So it could be a stroke of genius. It could work really well, because off the left-hand side, he's really easy to isolate. Double up on him and he can't do anything. Put him more centrally, if he's intelligent enough, he might get more space. And if he gets more space, get the shot off, take a player on. So, look, what I'm saying is, I don't dispute the criticism, but this is the last chance saloon. And this is the only place he can play in this system. And today is his opportunity. So let's see how he does. I mean, I think if he has a bad hour, he comes off and you might not see him starting against Arsenal. If he has a good hour, he might see the 90 minutes and start against Arsenal. So the opportunity is there. For me, this is the same as Xerxes up front, or Anthony starting the other night, or Mount starting the other night, people are getting an opportunity, and then they can't moan if it doesn't go the way they want it to go. Keel says, I think it's the perfect position for Rashford. We wish him luck. Liam says, you're a legend. Thanks for your super chat, Liam. He's given us £5. He says, Goldbridge, you're a legend. Been watching for years. Cheers for all you do. Thank you very much, pal. Really appreciate that. Nice to not be blighted with injuries for a change, says Enjoy Writing. Mate, he's only been here a week. He's only been here a week. I don't think the injury crisis has gone anywhere. I think this is just players trying to get fit because they know they need to play if they want a future. I think after 3 or 4 weeks, when we see what his best 11 is and people realise that they're either in the team or out the team, I think the injuries will come flooding back. I just think this is to do with the fact that everybody wants to try and get in the team at the moment. If they're 29 player at his best, he's really good, says Alexander. I'm going to come to them in a minute. I think I know who you're talking about. Only change I wished for was Ugarte over Casemiro, says Calm Monk. Been called into work, says Daniel Sturtridge. Why? What are you working as? And hi, Mark. It's my first game at Old Trafford, says Dance1211, and I'm hoping we can get a win today. Up the Toffees. Piss off. You pulled me in there. I'm concerned about the midfield, says Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Well, let's take a look at the Everton side. Let's get it up on the screen. Always. I think it's always nice when it's red against blue. Traditional. Everton are a traditional team. I won't have that not said. God, they're traditional with Sean Dyche as their coach. So Everton. Oh God. The BBC have done it again. I was going mad about this last night. The BBC basically they list the team in alphabetical order. I mean, somebody needs sacking at the BBC. I'm going to tweet it. Twats. Absolute idiots. I'm just going to never look at your website again. You've just lost. I won't look at the BBC again now. You've lost it. I used to use BBC for team news and lineups. I won't look at it again because you do it alphabetically. So whoever came up with that idea, you're losing customers. I am now using Google. So Pickford in goal, Young, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Mikalenko, Guehi, Decore, Lindstrom, McNeil, Ndia, and Beto. Right, and Lindstrom's not the player I was thinking about. Who's the player I like at Everton? Maybe he's injured. Someone in the chat will let me know. He's a bit like Kuna. He's a bit like Kuna. He's like really good at running at people. I think they signed him in the summer. Ndia, yeah, Ndia. Yeah, really like him. I presume he's injured because he's not. Oh no, he is. He's playing number 10. Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good player. I really do like him. So look, someone in the chat said keep an eye on Lindstrom, number 29. I like Ndia. I mean, Dwight McNeil can be quite dangerous, but Ndia is a player I like. It's Enyal, apparently. Okay. Anyway, thanks for all the early super chats that are coming in. We've got nearly 30,000 people watching for this one. It's going to be a big one. A big week for Man United, of course. We've got Arsenal on Wednesday night, and then we've got Forest next Saturday, I think, at 5:30. So 3 games in 6 days again. Incredible. Just on the subscriber front, that number is wrong. I'm going to change it now. It's actually 974. But we are only 50 subscribers away from 975. And then we're on the countdown from 25,000 to 2 million, which has never been done by an independent fan channel on YouTube for football. It's absolutely amazing. So please do subscribe, get involved with the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Match days, loads of coverage. We've been in Manchester in the studio for the for the countdown to kickoff. We will be there for Fan Forum. We've got player ratings show after this where you can vote for your player ratings. Interactive, always about the community. Get involved and please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And if you have been subscribed, then please do share the video. We are on the road to 2 million. We might hit it before 2025. We've got a month to do it. It's not impossible. There's a lot of games. There's a lot going on. But we can only do it if you share and get involved with the community. So please do subscribe. 2 million and counting. I say no one's ever done 2 million. I don't think anyone's done 1.8. I genuinely don't. I don't know whether many have done 1 million, actually. I'm talking like there's other United channels with 1 million subscribers. I don't think there is. I don't think there is another one, actually. Overlap maybe, Gary Neville, but that's not meant to be United, is it? And that's more mainstream anyway. It's funded by a lot of mainstream stuff. Anyway, look, fan content, community, that's what we're all about. Subscribe. Liam says, you missed my milestone chat. Well, I'll go and find it, Liam, but now you've built it up, it better be good. Stig says, I understand that Amorim has to test out his players and how they play together, but I don't like this team. He has to choose consistency or harmony, says Stig. Look, I don't think you're going to be in the minority with that point. Do some of you agree with Stig that you'd like to have seen a bit of continuity from the team today? I don't think he's necessarily wrong, but I think he's just telling the truth. And also, this is only his 3rd game in charge at Manchester United. He wants to give people game time and try and keep people fresh as well. There are so many games. So I think it works for Amorim to be able to leave Rasmus and Agate out, who played very well on Thursday, and give Mainu and Xerxes a chance, because he wants to give them a chance, and also it gives him a chance to rotate people as well. And also, I think he's at a point where if we were to drop points today because the players he gives us a chance to play shit, then I don't think people would be saying sack Amorim because he started Mainu and Xerxes. I think they'd be going, well, you know, we've learned today that maybe those players can't be used. Stephanie, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for getting your badge in. Reefer says, Lindstrom was fantastic in Frankfurt, hasn't found his game yet in Everton. Thank you very much. And Yusuf says, get ready. I've just seen the lineup. Everton are about to get a rim job. A rim job. Yeah. Okay. Some people enjoy that, though, Yusuf. Maybe Everton would enjoy that. I don't know. Do you think Xerxes can be like Berbatov, says Sean? I think Xerxes needs to be Xerxes. I hate comparisons to other players. I find it just... I don't think it does anybody any good. I think he'd be his own player. I think Ineos have told Ruben to use his squad, says enjoy writing. I would hope not. I would hope not. We need to ensure everyone can play the system, says Keel. I'm walking down Sir Matt Busby Way, Marky. I've been at the pub singing away, feeling Ineos-y for this one, says United forever. There we go. Well, look, if you're going to the game today, absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all doing very well as well. Mark, why is the game not on telly? It's annoying, says Samuel. Well, welcome to the UK. These things happen. Let's... Brave rotation by Amorim, says Lynn Hall. Hope you're doing well, Lynn. We have to rotate as much as we can. Some players need resting before Arsenal. Only hope we can cope with the inevitable drop-off, says Lynn. And the manager gives everyone a chance to play, says Amir. Name 5 players who will be in his first team, says John. Easy. Easy. Liam, I can't find your milestone chat. You keep talking about it. I can't find it. There is no milestone chat, Liam. It's not listed. Sorry. You've just wasted everybody's time and it's not listed there. So thanks for that. Everybody have a pop at Liam. I've been up and down the list twice and... Oh, no, I found it. Hey, Mark, where do you want Amorim's United to be at the end of his current contract to warrant an extension? I love this community. Liam, that's a shit question. I'm sorry. That really is bad. You've absolutely blown the rhythm of this watch along with where do I want Amorim to be to get a new contract. I'll tell you what. Do you want me to tell you what I want for Christmas as well? What do you want me to say to that, Liam? It's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. That is absolutely crap. You've moaned about it and it's rubbish. It's a rubbish question. What do I want Amorim to be to get a new extension? I don't bloody know. I'm living day to day, mate. I'm enjoying the moment. I don't know. So he's got a 2.5-year contract, and you want me to tell you where he should be at the end of next season to get a new contract? No, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fall into the trap if he needs to have won the Champions League or he needs to be fighting for the title. He's only got a year and a half before they decide to give him a new contract. If he can get top 4 next year, that'll be good. But there are so many things that maybe he wants to get rid of a certain player and they cause a load of shit like other players did. Like I'm just going to live it day to day. I'm happy with what's going on, Liam. I'm going to live it day to day and support the manager. I'm not going to put a label on it. Going back to the other point, which was actually better, Liam, what 5 players do you think will be starting for Amorim? Even after a week, I can give you 5 players easy that will be in his first team. Obviously, Onana. Mazraoui will definitely be in his team as well. Bruno's definitely going to be in his team. Ahmad's definitely going to be in his team. And I would say Agate is definitely going to be in his team as well. His best team. There's a couple of others I think might be. Rasmus, I think. Mount, if he can stay fit. But those 5 definitely will be in his team. And look, at the moment, I don't want to see any more than 5. I think 5 is probably is right at the moment, because there is a lot of people did like Liam's chat. That's the great thing about community. Some people did like it, Liam. So don't feel bad about it, even though I thought it was not the best. With Amorim rotating, exploring, would you take a draw? Says NAU. No, win. We got to be winning these sort of games today. United need a win. I wish we could see Yoro play today. I'm slightly annoyed he's not even on the bench. What are your thoughts, Mark? Says Alfie. Well, it's not for me and you to be annoyed or concerned about the starting 11 in relation to what's available. I think we've got a Liam still loves me and the channel, no problem, mate. Yeah, because Liam knows I'm having a bit of banter with him, but it was a bit rubbish. Alfie, I think in relation to Yoro, I would like to see him play. I thought he might start today, but we don't know the extent of the injury. It feels like he's been back recovering for quite a while, but they obviously are taking their time with him. And to be fair, when you've got Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Maguire's back, it's not like you're Man City and Rodri's nearly ready, but you can't take the time. You've got to get him back in. I wish we could, with Amorim rotate, done that one. Ryan Nielsen, welcome to Members Club. If Rashford doesn't deliver, says Andreas, i.e. a 7 out of 10, I will never go back on him being the Aubameyang of our team. Can't now allow laziness to play on 350k a week. Jundo's a new member as well. Paulson says, I'm loving the new background, Mark. Hoping we get the United win today. I got my lucky United teddy bear. Go on, lad. Thank you very much for your generous super chat as well. Just get 3 points today. Just get 3 points. That's what I wanted to talk about. Just get 3 points. I mean, the league table... have we got the league table? Here we go. Look at the league table. I mean, we're in the bottom half. A win today will take us into the top half, just because we've got a better goal difference than we'd have. If we win, we'll have a better goal difference than Villa and Newcastle. So we would go into the top half, just. I don't think there's anybody else playing today that can stop that happening. Am I right? Oh, you're not right, Mark, because if Fulham beat Spurs, they could put us into 11th, even if we win. Okay. And Villa could win as well. Yeah, okay. All right. All right, if we win, there's a good chance we'll go into the top 10, the top half of the table. And that's what I want. Steps. Remember Steps. What an annoying band they were. Samuel, why is the game... Okay, we've done that. Clear Amorim is still experimenting with the squad, says Adrian. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Paulson Sports Clips gave £20 super chat, has now gifted 5 memberships. Everyone's a winner. Big shout out to Paulson. Noosa says, early kickoff in Queensland. The boys on the beach will be chomping at the bit to get 25 minutes against a tired Everton. Yes, Noosa, I think you're right. Be interesting how Everton play. Amorim has spoken about physicality, hasn't he? And I think that is obviously something that's going to be playing on his mind. But I'm just of the opinion that what we need to see from United today is 3 points. I'd love to see an early goal. I mentioned this in the preview yesterday. I think if you can get an early goal in games like this, it really does make a massive amount of difference, because we saw it against Bodo Glimt, and although we went 2-0 behind, in teams like Everton, they're going to come to Old Trafford. They won't be as intimidated as they were a few years ago. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that they are, but they'll come to Old Trafford, and with every 10 minutes that they're in the game, they're going to feel more confident. And if you score against these teams early, their game plan almost goes out the window a little bit, because they've got to try and counter what they were looking to do before. So I think that if we can get an early goal, it changes the complexion of the game. And that's something they say things come in threes, and we have seen that over the last 2 games where we have seen those goals go in. Just saw something there that was caught my attention. And you can't see it now. It's gone, don't worry. Players are in the tunnel anyway. We're ready to go. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to put the Villa-Chelsea game on as well. That's the Sky game. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0. I don't know what I said in the preview, but I am gonna go 2-0 in this. I fancy United to get the win, and I fancy us to score quite early in the first 20 minutes again as well. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 2 million, but we're nearly at 975. So make sure you do that. Hopefully that's gonna come on. Oh God, I just had a thought. Ba la 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 la. And I thought the volume was going to come on. Right. Oh, it was on there anyway. Yeah, Chelsea's on there as well. Colin Bolger's just gifted a membership. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much for that. Thanks everyone who's getting involved. Hi Mark, December is here. Loving your Christmas background, and I'm hoping for Amorim's first win today in the league. Come on, says Samir. Thank you very much, mate. I'm actually going to stand up. Every woman, every man. Tangled up. Amazing community, says Cam. It really is. It really, really is. And look, I've got a lot of patience. I'm sure you've got a lot of patience as well. But also, these are the sort of games. I don't care who's in charge. I don't care if they're putting me in charge. I'm still expecting to win here. I think Amorim has been very consistent about that as well, that you've got to start winning these sort of games. Reese Hunter says, this will be a repeat of the Everton game last year. 3-0. Good time of the year for a Marcus overhead hat-trick. Asked you a direct question, mate. Mine's giving an answer, says Thomas Hopley. Fucking hell. I can't wait for this question. Sounds really rude. Xerxes knows this is the real debut. I bet he's been told you have 65 minutes to use 100% of your energy. Make the fans love you. If I was manager, I'd say that. Noosa, I would love the match reaction to be... could be Rashford playing up front, says Jamie. I don't like Rashford up front. I don't think he's just experimenting with the squad. I also think it's needed to utilise, considering we have 9 games in December, says Fairway 5. December is here, says Samir. I don't know why people are so surprised about the rotation, says Drayson. Amorim is not only protecting the players' fitness, but he's also learning about our team. Bart's gifted 5 memberships. You're an absolute legend, mate. Thank you very much for that. Love from my family to yours. Have a good one, says Aidan. Ryan Reeder, welcome to the Members Club. Early kickoff in Queensland. Lee Berman, afternoon everyone. I'm so glad when Amorim says he will rotate. He actually does it properly. Here we go. Thomas says, Mark, you asked about who is the best team but didn't bring up the back line. Every good team needs solidity in the defence. Most important in my opinion. I don't remember talking about best team. I was asked about any players that I think are in his best team, and I mentioned Onana and Mazraoui. I don't think we know what his best team is yet. Graham Robinson's gifted a membership as well. Do you think Bruno, Mainu and Mount all work, says Fian? Well, they're not playing today, and I don't think it works, no. Nath Footy, welcome to the Members Club. I don't think you can play... Liam Momberg has gifted 5 memberships as well. Lots of people gifting memberships. Legends. I don't think... I've got to stand up here. I don't think you can... play Mason Mount and Bruno as the 2 in behind the striker. In my opinion, I don't think you can do that. But I'm just going to watch the stream from down here. Yeah, I'm not really. I am gonna stand up though, because I like to stand up for a match. Oh, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Yes, I am. Oh, yeah. Well, I think I'm just looking at the front three of United. I think Xerxes is playing as... yeah, I think we're almost playing with the front three. I mean, look, I haven't watched enough of Sporting to know if that is the way it works with Sporting, but when I watch Sporting with Gyökeres, he plays as the front man on the centre backs. Now the way United are starting off here, it looks like Xerxes is deeper than Bruno and Rashford. So Rashford and Bruno are quite wide, playing higher than Xerxes, who is central, dropping in. Quab says, do you think Rashford is the number 9? He might be, but then it's almost like we're playing with a front two. I think Rashford's basically on Branthwaite. Be it very interesting to see how Branthwaite gets on against Rashford, actually. Oh, God, I can't be arsed with the questions about new backgrounds and delay. So, can we just get rid of them? It's boring. If you don't watch the United stand at least once a day, then, you know, where have you been for 2 weeks? Thanks, Liam, for gifting 5 memberships. Delo puts a cross in. Good defending by Everton there. Corner. Branthwaite. I'll tell you what, we've probably missed this completely, but I would say keep an eye on Branthwaite today, because we are really in for Branthwaite. Like, really in for Branthwaite. We really do want him. So, definitely keep an eye on him. Similar start to Bodo Glimt, though. Very much on the front foot. Very much high possession, Manchester United. Scan the QR code if you want to get your Christmas jumpers, by the way. And some of the passing's been very, very good. There's Mainu, picks it up. Going to shoot straight at the keeper. Keeper keeps hold of it. Good start. Very good start by United. Front foot football. High energy. Also, Everton are shit. I mean, even Everton fans will tell you that. They have been really, really disappointing. Don't go away. Say what you say, says Liam. Ahanj, welcome to the Members Club. And Mark Dennehy has gifted a membership as well. 3 points on the way, Mark, says Graham Robertson. And I wonder what Sean Dyche told him before kickoff. I knew someone was going to try and lure me in with a bit of Dyche. Well, at the end of the day, I couldn't care whether his name's Amorim or Martin. Whether you're from Portugal or Portsmouth, you can't do anything against a bag of gravel. And I've always said that. So, you know, if they want it up 'em, we're hard. They're not like that. But if they want to beat us, they're going to have to kill us, aren't they, lads? Because we'll fight for our last breath. Nice weather in Manchester. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. We were very, very close to 975,000. We were only about 20 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're on that road to 2 million, of course. United got a bit of space here to get it out to Ahmad. Plenty of options. Xerxes playing deeper. Ahmad tries to go for Xerxes, and it's just a misplaced pass there. But Xerxes definitely dropping in as a false 9. And then Rashford and Bruno moving alongside him. Although Dwight McNeil is in here. Good defending by Casemiro, actually. McNeil, you twat. You could have crossed it. Thanks for subscribing, Emax. Greetings from Argentina. Love that. Hi, Mark. I'm so excited to see Mainu play in this team. The boy is well rested after the injury and now a year ahead, says Andre. Yeah, I'm hoping that Mainu now, you're absolutely spot on. With that little bit of a break, he can really start to kick on. Shush says Man United are controlling the game here. Chelsea are 1-0 up. Goal for Chelsea. Let's have a look at it. Oh, I think Cole Palmer might be offside there. Oh no, he can't be offside there. God, they don't half show a build-up. Fucking hell. Why don't you go back to last week with the build-up? Nicholas Jackson, yeah. Cross from Cucurella. Bloody hell. Sorry about that. I actually thought that I could tell you how you scored for Chelsea quite quickly by looking to my right. Fucking hell. They went back to the Chelsea-Liverpool game from a few weeks ago. Corner to United. Xerxes gives me Berbatov vibes. Oh, Niki, I'm not even reading the rest of it. Hopefully United make it worth waking up at 5 a.m, says Ankit. I can see De Ligt scoring today, says Mark Dennehy. Raygard, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Bolabo, thank you very much. Welcome to the members club as well. Marty is a new member as well. Portsmouth is an old Premier League club that I miss, says Nath Footy. Krishna, welcome to the members club as well. Every player given a chance. Prove you want it, says Channel E as well. Thank you very much there. Look, going back to what Niki said, you're the second person today to say that Xerxes reminds you of Berbatov. Based on what? Did you watch Xerxes at Bologna every game last year? Because he's hardly played for United, and it's just lazy. I don't. Berbatov actually did something in a Man United shirt. I don't see any similarity between Berbatov and Xerxes at all, actually, if we're being honest. Got to be careful that we get caught on the bait. Don't get caught on the bait, says Daz. It's like people last season who said Mainu reminds me of Pogba. What? Why? Why is that then? Tell us why he reminds you of Pogba, because I can't see anything about Mainu's game like Paul Pogba at all. But come on, love to know. Do you think the reason why we seem to have the classic bounce is because we have entered an age of attacking football and not drop and deeper counter, which started with Eric, says Hyans? We seem to not have the classic bounce is because we've entered an age of an attacking football. Good shot from distance there from Lindstrom. Straight at the keeper, though. A little bit like Mainu's a few bits ago. I think that the reason we don't get the classic bounce, Hyans, it's a good question, is because Manchester United don't have enough good players. I think it's that simple. I think we've recruited badly for a long time, and structurally, the foundation of the club is not that great. So we need to rebuild. And I think that there are teams. I'm not even talking about Arsenal, Liverpool or Man City. I'm talking about the likes of Brighton and Aston Villa have actually built better squads in the way. Not necessarily got better individual players, but they've got better players that suit their system. Mark, do you think Bruno will keep the captaincy? Yes, Alfie. I think already we can see he started every single game. He didn't get subbed against Ipswich. He didn't get subbed against Bodo Glimt, and he started again today. So I think what you would say about Bruno is that whether some people dislike it or not, he is in the favourites club. The fuck was that by Rashford? Bloody hell! You see that? He's on the right wing, and I don't know whether it's a cross or a shot. Incredible stuff. Up against Branthwaite, I think it's an attempt at a cross. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Or he was trying to catch the keeper out. It was a 300k a week cross, says Art. You just don't understand it. Yeah, maybe we're just not understanding it. Mark, would you try an FC 25 career mode coaching Salford City? I think Neville would stop it somehow, wouldn't he? Gary Carberry, welcome to the Members Club. Hope you're doing well. And Rennie says, I wonder how the conversation would go if Sir Jim interviewed Deitch for a job at the end of the day. They're in, Everton. They're in. Wow, that's even worse than Rashford's cross, you twat. Is that Beto? Or as I call him, Shito. He is pants. I'm sorry, Everton fans. Beto is crap. He really is. He's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Joey says, why are people protesting against Jim Radcliffe? What can he do in this short period? Lots of members joining today. Nice to see so many badges in the chat. Welcome to the Members Club, Sean. Talking of the chat, I'm just going to slow it down a little bit because it's getting a little bit too hard to read. Sometimes happens on a match day. Don't worry. It's fine. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Quite an open game, this. My clock is a bit out. Let me... just change it a little bit. Come on, United. Bit of positive vibes here today. Christmas trees up. Advent calendar. Check out my Instagram story at Goldbridge Mark. Niki's trying to get into an argument, calling me a prat. I give out the name prat. You can't use my magic powers on me. Alberto's really excited about Amorim. Finally, it looks like we're implementing a style of play. Still lots to work on. It's not even been a week, Alberto. Exactly. Very good there. Anyway, this is what Niki said. Xerxes reminds me of Berbatov. He makes the game look so easy and in slow motion, and I'm also loving Bruno being more disciplined. Unfortunately, I think you sent that about 5 minutes ago because the last 5 minutes, Xerxes has been getting a bit of shit in the chat, to be fair. Taylor, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for tuning in. Everton came to play, says Arthur. Premier League's competitive, mate. It is. I mean, there's no... Xerxes got it here. That was a lovely pass by Xerxes. We should be scoring from there. That was a brilliant pass, that was, by Xerxes. That's where his creativity comes in. It was so good. And I actually think, Ahmad should score that. It's really bad. He gets it completely wrong. Completely wrong. On his left foot, I just think I wouldn't be surprised if on a replay that was a bobble or something, because it didn't make a lot of sense. Well up by Delit. 13 minutes gone already. It was a great pass by Xerxes. Give him some credit. And the thing about this United side is that with Xerxes, he is dropping in, isn't he? The only problem I would say about this is that with Xerxes dropping in, is there enough running past him? I think it would be better with Garnacho instead of Bruno on the right-hand side. Because if Xerxes is going to drop in, you want people running past him. And I don't think Bruno has got the pace to do that. Super Donut says, that was a Berbatov-type pass. Mainu and Pogba, crap. Okay. Amorim cannot be happy with Casemiro's blind passes, says Cole. Yeah, give us your thoughts. They've got a corner here, Everton. We've got to be very good at corners. Actually, Everton are quite a good team to be playing against in relation to corners because Arsenal, as we know, very, very good at corners. Tottenham are playing Fulham as well. It's 0-0 there at the moment. 3 games today. Christmas tree formation for December. Who is the star, says DJ. Well headed away by Delo. I think Bruno's his star, isn't he? Xerxes reminds me of a player that exists, says Odmar. Come on, give some support there. Ghost Vibes says, hi Mark, it was my 24th birthday yesterday. I'm hoping for a win to top it off. Love the United stand. Thanks for all you do. Keep up the great work. And Arch says, miss the plant. Trust me, it will love you back and give you the oxygen you need to bro. The amount of talking you do, you need that oxygen, says Arch. It wasn't a real plant, mate. It was fake. Robert was a fake. Why does Casemiro drop to the floor and slide every time the ball is near him? It's like his balls are made of tungsten. Bloody sick of it, says Foz. It's early, but it looks like Delo is going to have another stinker, says Tusha. Casemiro there with a blind pass. Bloody hell. Cut back. Oh, just not there. Ahmad did quite well. Kana Dave says, did you ever find the ball you lost in Solihull? If I find it, will you sign it? I don't know what ball it is. Yeah, nice ball in behind to Ahmad. The cutback was there, but I think Rashford just doesn't anticipate that. I don't know why Rashford doesn't anticipate this. He sort of breaks his stride. Nah, maybe it's... to be fair, I think it's a little bit behind him, isn't it? Nice football, big improvement, says Darren, apart from Rashford. It's early, done that one as well, Tusha. Thanks very much for your super chats. You can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. Luke82 says, Robert the Plant deserves an Oscar for the Rashford impression. You're all going to shut up in a minute when Rashford scores. You know it's going to happen. Daniel says, subs are going to be crucial today. We look off so far. I tell you what, though, Everton have had a go. Would you rather Calvert-Lewin or Beto, says Skolsolski? I mean, really, different shades of rubbish, really. Ankit says, I like the passing. It's crisp and quick. Liking it so far. 5 Cantona says, we'll never sing a song about 5 Rashfords. We need to stop this, you know. Teams who come to the Old Trafford and feel liberated to start passing the ball about. Here's Xerxes into Bruno. Good pass. What a ball. What a pass by Bruno that was. And that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I mean. That little ball in behind, it's so good. He was offside anyway. Look at this pass by Bruno. Yeah, he's gone too early. Branthwaite knows as well. Mark, every time in this league we'll have a go, even the bottom teams. The other games are more enjoyable, says Constantine. I don't see it. I think Everton are just going hard. They will tire, I think, says SK. Mark, every team, can you advise what website? This is like, oh God, I don't know. No, I can't advise anything on that. Sorry. Mark, if you had a choice, take Mourinho back right now or give Amorim a chance. Fucking hell, that's a terrible question. You genuinely take Mourinho back? Bloody hell. Oh no! Side netting. I tell you, I thought Onana was going to get there then. It was a great pass by Bruno. I tell you what, I genuinely wasn't worried. Beto gets through one-on-one. He's got the run on De Ligt. And, oh yeah, no, he just gets there ahead of Onana. But, I think De Ligt thinks Onana's going to get there, and then Onana can't get there. Could have been well, it was a chance. Thankfully, it was Beto. Badir says we're going to turn him into Evertoff. Time to oil up, says Badir. You know, we have been playing for 20 minutes, mate. And we've hit that point that I was talking about, really, where you need that early goal in the first 20 minutes, because if you don't get it in the first 20 minutes, the away team will start to, grow in confidence. Mark, I'm sorry, but Rasmus should start every game like Kane, Haaland, Lewandowski. That's how we will become the next level, says Andy. I think we will come to a point where that happens, Andy, but at the moment, you've still got to make people feel part of it, and it gives you a chance to rest other players. We play with 2 number 10s. I'm going to keep banging the O'Reilly drum. Come on, United, says Jude Forsyth. Thanks for both your super chats, Andy, as well. Andre Gomez says, Manu changes the way we play in such a beautiful way. Thank you for that. So, yeah, 21 minutes gone, nearly 22 minutes gone. 40,000 watching. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, we're on the road to 2 million. In fact, I think we've hit 975, so I'm going to change that. Could do it in this month. So please keep sharing the video if you have already subscribed. Bottom right-hand corner, share it on your socials. Thanks, everybody, for getting involved. Big week of football coming up as well. As we know, United go to the Emirates on Wednesday. And I think that's going to be a very tough game. Obviously, this will not be the 11 that we pick. I pretty much guarantee we will see Garnacho and Rasmus, etc., and Agate. Bloody hell, I've just seen a pass back be given at Stamford Bridge. And it was a pass back as well. So it's really interesting. You've got a pass back here from an indirect free kick. And it's right on the edge of the 6-yard box for Chelsea. I'll tell you what happens with that. But United on the attack again. Just look, constantly looking for that ball in behind for Rashford, aren't we? I think Branthwaite's look. What's your thoughts on Branthwaite watch? I mean, this is a player that United are going to look to sign. Lots of people giving Casemiro a bit of stick. I think Branthwaite's done quite well. That's that number 10 again. What's his name? Ngia. Good player. They're number 10. Do you remember when Scott would score and it would cover up his 2 out of 10 performances? It's the same with Rashford. Too many chances and I'm done with him, says Stuart Walker. Lake on the Moon says Casemiro and Xerxes can't be on the pitch together. It's a slow motion, failed link up every time. I'll tell you what I think the problem is, and it's like teaching somebody a new language. We're still always looking for that ball in behind. I'm just looking at this Chelsea indirect free kick, and it's blocked. And it's blocked again. Virtually impossible for Chelsea to score there because they've got a indirect quick free kick 6 yards out, but Villa had everybody back. Delo is not a left back, so why are we playing no left winger, says Cesar. And that was, I'm watching the Chelsea game. Watched you since 200k subs. Neville will never get close to you with the overlap. He just doesn't have your charisma, says Noosa. Nah, mate, look, they're doing a watch along on Wednesday for the Arsenal game, and I'm sure it'll be very popular. They're mainstream. Like, the fact that the game is changing because of people like you, that's the win. Did you think 10 years ago you would end up with Roy Keane, Ian Wright, Carragher and Gary Neville sat doing a watch-along? That's what we've created. Brilliant. The reason I started doing this was because I was bored shitless of scripted match of the day bollocks. We started doing this, people like it, and now the mainstream are doing it. So we've won. At the end of the day, if I stop doing it because I don't need to do it anymore or it's not popular anymore, as long as the mainstream are doing it, we're getting what we want, real conversation. So thanks for the chat anyway. Bruno not playing as a 10, he's very deep, he could be an 8, says Cole. It's almost like we're playing a front 2 at times. I think that's a very good tactical observation. Bruno's sort of dropping in and it's almost like a 3-5-2 at times. Mainu sort of drops to the right hand side, Bruno to the left hand side. Here's the low. I mean, that's just a wild cross. Wild cross by Delo. I mean, there's options there. Lovely play by Mainu to win it back, but he can't quite hold on to it. This is this player again, number 10. Good interception by De Ligt. What do you think about Mkhitaryan's time at United? I thought he was good, but did not reach his potential, says Mikhail. I just remember I really wanted Mkhitaryan to do well, and we were playing away in the Europa League game, and he came on for 20 minutes, and it was almost like they deliberately didn't want to pass him the ball. I just remember doing that. I think we're in a relegation battle. Should be losing this game, says Caitlin. Bollocks. They've not had a chance. If Pep loses today, Southgate's going to replace him, says Mubin. Oh, I'd love that. Thanks for your super chats. 1 minute. I've just got to... Seb's been playing the game, so I've just got to whack the hot water on for him. Every woman, every man. I don't feel like we've tested Pickford enough in 27 minutes. And I tell you what, every game tells a story. And you can have a game where it's 0-0, but you're dominating. You can have a game where it's 0-0, but it's quite equal. And I think that's what we've got here. I certainly think even if we scored, Everton wouldn't feel like that's it. I think it's just been a very open game. And Everton have almost been liberated by United. Gareth Southgate says, Pep out, me in. Attila Ven, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for that. Bruno's still indisciplined. Rashford is walking around and Casemiro is too slow. We can't carry this shitty spine the entire game, says Nitin. Well, I feel like I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I feel like we almost need that moment again. We're relying on a moment of magic again, aren't we? You know, Bruno to pull off an amazing assist or a Rashford worldie or something like that. Lots of people saying we need Agate in the midfield like Silva Nacho. I mean, what's the statistical breakdown at the moment? Can we get the stats on the screen? I think it's going to be quite interesting. I don't have them. They weren't there. Why didn't we put the stats in there? Okay, here we go. So Yeah, I mean, we've had 65% possession, but one shot on target. They've had a shot on target, one corner. See, this is where possession, people get very excited about possession, but actually, possession without end product is irrelevant. Southampton have massive, massive possession, but don't win games. And it doesn't matter whether you've got 90% possession if you've had one shot on goal and one corner. I wish someone would have updated Amorim on Pickford. Test him out. He's got tiny hands, says Nick P. Swapping too many players in an inconsistent team, says 5 Cantonars. Moments FC, says Marty. Cameron, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks for getting your badge in. And it's been too easy for them to run through our midfield, says Ankit. Spot on. I'm freezing in the Himalayas. Are we playing well, says Bay. Thank you very much for that. No, I think there's some good comments there. Might be best Delit performance I've seen, says Cole. Yeah, Delit's played well. I think Mazraoui and Delit have been very, very good again and very, very consistent again. And Anana's been steady again and Martinez has done okay. The midfield is the problem. It's there's a lot of indiscipline. I mean, I agree with Arman as well. He says Bruno's running around all over the pitch, completely indisciplined. We're losing the midfield battle because of Casemiro. We do look a bit stretched, and I think, you know what, if we did have Rasmus on, we wouldn't be doing this dropping, because Xerxes dropping in, which is a bit unorthodox. It means Rashford and Bruno are a little bit indisciplined. If Rasmus was up front, he would play on the centre-backs, and then the two behind him would have to be disciplined. But because Xerxes dropping in, Bruno and Rashford are wandering into areas, and they're almost got free roam on. And that means our midfield doesn't have the protection of those two. Look, you can see it here. Bruno and Rashford are ahead of Xerxes, and Everton just play through all three of them. Ross says, Delo's having another half day. What's your favourite dish of all time, says Flynn? Lasagna or Christmas dinner. Mainu needs to be our box-to-box and Agate holding it down. Casemiro needs to come off. My goodness, Delo left is also a horror show, says Caleb. This system doesn't suit the players we have, says Christopher Day. And I'm so frustrated with the passing, says Beryl. Hope you're doing well, Beryl. Raphael, thank you very much. Right, here we go. Casemiro, loads of space. Into Rashford on the left-hand side. He loves to be there. He drives, he loses the ball. He wins a corner. Mark, I'm at work. How are the boys doing right now, says Black Wolf. Very, very, yeah. Very, yeah. I mean, here, Rashford's done well to win a corner, because where's he going? Like, they've just boxed him in. He's done well to win a corner there. It's not Marcus Rashford, it's special treatment Rashford. Get it right, says Constantine. It's a goal for Manchester United. It's got enough Branthwaite. Get in. I told you we're going to rely on moments. Manchester United lead here, and it's come from a set piece. And I told you Rashford would probably score. So you're going to have to sit down a little bit here. Bruno with the corner. It's one of those edge of the box Bradford, Beckham to Scholes. It wasn't quite that, but naivety from Everton, to be honest with you, because how does a ball get chipped to the edge of the box like this from Bruno? The technique is absolutely fantastic, but look, how does that even happen? I mean, to be fair, it's not really a Rashford goal, is it? It's, or is it? Actually, it might be. I think it might have been going in. I'm looking at this. It's, it comes to Rashford on the edge. He's got loads of time. It's sort of a placed volley. And I think it was going in, and it's gone in off Branthwaite's foot. So you can't argue with that from Man United. It was an absolute brilliant set piece from Bruno and Rashford, and Branthwaite's deflected it in. So United have got that goal. That's the main thing. Important to score first in a game like this. And United lead 1-0. Looking forward to Wednesday seeing Arsenal bully United, says Shinobi. All right, shut up. We can only beat what's in front of us. That's all we can do. That's what progress will be. Branthwaite's already playing for us, says Cooper. But yeah, look, I mean, that's weird from a Sean Dyche team to be so naive on a set piece. But to be fair, straight from the training ground, really good. Bruno, another, I suppose that will go down as an own goal, even though it was going in anyway. I don't know. I don't know who gets the goal for that. But bottom line is, very well worked set piece. And in a game like that, where United have been, you know, it has been given to Rashford and it has been given as a Bruno's assist. So it's funny because I was literally just doing a tweet there saying I don't like this front three. It's really indisciplined. Xerxes dropping in is leading to free roam from Rashford and Bruno, which I don't think has been that useful. But BBC have got it down as a Rashford goal. Mark Dennehy's just gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, mate. And Evan says, tactically abysmal to have Bruno play as a half winger when our midfield is getting overrun with it as well, says Evan. And worrying how few crosses we put in with 4 wingers, says Noah. Chelsea are 2-0 up as well. Enzo Fernandez. Shinobi Ben's just gifted a membership. When last have we had a real corner set up with tactics and it works out? Get in, says Dean. Thank you very much, Dean. J Rem says, if you play like this against Arsenal, you get smashed. And SK says, everyone have your opinion, but Rashford hasn't been that bad. It's been more Xerxes and Bruno for me that are not in sync. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's been terrible. I mean, look, I'm not going to say I wouldn't give him any higher than an average, but we've only had 35 minutes. And I saw this against Man City last year. I saw it against Spurs last year. I think some of the Rashford criticism goes too far, like Trashford. He ain't Vinicius Jr. and he's never going to be Vinicius Jr. He's not Saka. He's not Salah. I think he can be a very good player, but one thing I'll always say about Rashford is he has got a good finish. If you give him chances, he has got a good finish in and around the box, and he showed that there from that corner routine. Didn't sign him in the summer, but he's scoring goals for us anyway. Cheers, Jared, says Rick. Bram, welcome to the Members Club. Pickford's out here. In fairness to Xerxes, though, 37 minutes, how many shots has he had? It's still the graveyard shift, isn't it? Tristan says, do you still think United can win the league? I don't remember ever saying that we were going to win the league, mate. I presume you're having a bit of banter with us. Xerxes' passing's been good, says Lucian. And do you think Xerxes has a confidence issue? Simply, he doesn't know how to play a number 9. I think he's suited to play 4-4-2, supporting the first striker, says Adaraj. Good play by Martinez. I think it's really important that we get the second goal now, because it's one of those games where, you know, Everton have very much been in it. They've not created loads. But yeah, I mean, look at the stats. It's marginally in our favour. Good question coming in here. Feed Rashford, says Robert McCormack. What are your thoughts on the formation and the use of wing backs, says Bartley? I mean, lovely play by Ahmad. I think that might be a yellow card. Yeah, yellow card for Mikalenko. Look, I think that we're not creating many chances. We've scored from a set piece there, and I did say at 0-0, it felt like we were going to need a moment, and we got a moment. That's a moment. That's a brilliant set piece from Bruno, and it's a good finish by Rashford that ends up in the back of the net. So that's a moment. In open play, we've struggled to create chances apart from that Ahmad one, where I think he should have scored. But you could say the same from Beto for them. So it's been a very equal game where we have probably applied a little bit of home advantage to get that first goal. Bartley, I think we need to be more creative, and the only way you're going to be more creative is by utilising the wide effectively. Adderage, I don't think it's a confidence thing with Xerxes. I think it's just a customization thing. He's got to sort of get used to the Prem. And the only way you're going to do that is by playing more games. Bram says, I think the tempo needs to go up dramatically. Well, look, if we can stay 1-0 up for the next 20 minutes, so next 5 minutes of this half and the first 15 minutes of the second half, you then can bring on Agate, Garnacho, Luke Shaw, maybe Rasmus, and they would bring a little bit more tempo and hopefully kill the game off. Why do you think players like Dalot keep doing flicks? Sorry, why do I think players like Dalot keep doing flicks? I don't know, mate. Maybe they're confident that they'll work. I mean, this is still, can I just say, this is an Everton team that's got Ashley Young in it. I can't believe he still plays football and we're not 4-0 up. Do you think our history with youth, class of 92, Busby Babes, makes us almost too loyal to academy products? I love it, but it creates so much pressure. 2-0! There we go. Super Xerxes. He gets a bit of service. He scores the goal. Manchester United lead 2-0. And I tell you what, I was too busy reading the chat, but Xerxes scores. I'm very happy about that. De Ligt runs the length of the pitch to give him a bit of Dutch courage. And Xerxes, well, it's a tap in, but you've got to be there. And to be honest with you, I think Bruno gets another assist, doesn't he? Branthwaite's having a stinker now. I think he was cruising. So breathing space here. Come on. This is it. Just get the 3 points today. 2 starts, 2 attempts, 2 goals, says Robert. I will block you in a minute. I'm not doing this. I know you're loyal to the United stand, but we're not doing Player FC. So shut it. Bruno Fernandes. It was actually brilliant work by Ahmad. Ahmad on the press on Branthwaite. Lets Bruno take it. Bruno into space. Cuts it back for Xerxes. That's what happens when you win the ball high up the pitch. So give Ahmad his flowers there, because that was intensity, very much like Rasmus against Bodo Glimt, getting in on the player, getting after their first touch. If there's any hesitation, you get even closer and you win the ball back. So really good pressing and intensity from Ahmad that leads to a very simple action from Bruno and Xerxes. And I tell you what, 2-0 up before half time, you're definitely going to take that. Ankit says, Ahmad class, great pressing. We need more of it, says Ankit. More of that, please, says SK. And confidence is flowing now. Ahmad. Everton are a little bit shell-shocked here. And this is what can happen, though. If you get a goal and then you keep the tempo going, the confidence flows. Lovely play by Bruno. He's having a very good game at the moment. He's got 2 assists. He could have gone down. He could have gone down. Should have gone down. Why didn't he go down? Should have gone down. Bruno turning into Messi here. Well, it was Ashley Young. Bruno sending Ashley Young back to bloody Inter there. Lovely, lovely play, but I thought he could have got a penalty. I'll tell you what, if Bruno had gone down there, I think he could have got a penalty. No, if Bruno goes down there, he gets a penalty. There's no way that's enough of a contact on the ball. More of that, please, says SK. Sit down, haters, says Marty. Thank you very much. 70 million for Branthwaite. Yeah. Well, I said it was going to be interesting to watch Branthwaite tonight. Mark, I found a Christmas list on the ground. Top of the list was Maguire to be a regular starter for United again. Can you ask Seb if he wants it back? Nearly at half time here. Chelsea 2-0 up against Villa as well. There is another game going on. Spurs are 0-0 with Fulham. So these results wouldn't be too bad for us, because as things stand, we don't want to be looking at the bottom of the table. I'm just going to get the top in. Let's remove bottom. Let's take top. That's where we would be in the league as things stand, 9th into the top half, which is progress. Because Villa are losing and Fulham drawing, so we'd go into 9th, which is best case scenario, actually. Nice to see Xerxes on the score sheet. Let's hope he gets his confidence going, says Cameron. And Mario Franco says, I've been off for some time due to a new business I'm working on. Good luck with that, Mario. Same love for everyone in the United stand, hoping for more performances like this. And Nath Footy says, do you think viewership would go up or down if United went back to winning ways, says Nath. Up. Europa League final was our most watched live show. Contextually, I mean, obviously we were a smaller channel, but incredible how nobody mentions how bad Villa have been this season, says Andres. They are really struggling. But I think there's a level of predictability there, isn't there, with Villa? Because they're playing Champions League football as well. Nice to see. I've done that from Cameron Thornton. Incredible how nobody mentioned. I've done that one. You still want Everton defender, says Mr. Bruno. I never wanted Branthwaite. Ineos want Branthwaite. We're going to buy Branthwaite. I trust them to buy the right player. I never said Branthwaite was my pick. It's just a player that we talk about because Ineos want him, and it's a bit like you've got to trust them, haven't you? Ahmad class, great pressing, says Ankit. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, on the road to 2 million. And remember, if you want to get your Christmas jumpers, it's Black Friday weekend, so you can get 20% off all of our Christmas jumpers. Link is in the description as well. We do ship them worldwide. Only 2 minutes added on. I think it might actually be half time. United have been very, very efficient here in the last 15 minutes. And De Ligt has had a good game. Half time it is. Well, you know what? I actually think there's context to that half of football for Manchester United. Most importantly, we're 2-0 up. That's all that matters. And I think Amorim will be over the moon with that. To leave out, rotate people like Rasmus and Agate, and then have especially Xerxes come in and Mainu come in and be 2-0 up at half time against a team that, to be honest with you, looked quite liberated. Everton at 0-0 looked quite confident. They got through the first 20 minutes. So I think that to be 2-0 up at half time, and let's be clear here, you would not be expecting Man United to implode to a level where they don't win this game now. So I think Amorim will be over the moon with that. What do I think? I mean, look, 61% possession. We've had 3 shots. They've had 1. 2 corners, 1. I think 1-0, 2-0. You can't argue with it. We've not been lucky. Both our goals were legitimate goals. Everton really haven't tested Onana once. So, look, I said this before about Everton. They're obviously not going to get relegated under Sean Dyche, but they can't score goals. And there we have it. Like, they've been competitive, but they've got no goal threat. So what we've done actually is quite admirable in the sense that we've just kept going. And I said it would probably need a moment to open the game up, and it was a moment. It's a set piece. A set piece is by definition a moment, and it was technically very good from Bruno and Rashford, and obviously get a little bit lucky with the deflection, but might have been going in anyway. And that's 1-0. And then I think Everton's heads drop a little bit. Concentration drops a tad. Ahmad anticipates Branthwaite's going to hesitate. And then the next thing you know, Xerxes tapping it in from Bruno's cross. And Bruno's got 2 assists again. And so I think, look, obviously it's Everton. After drawing with Ipswich last week, we really need to beat Everton and Forest next week. And Arsenal on Wednesday will be a bonus. But looking across the team, look, Onana's had nothing to do. I think De Ligt and Martinez and Mazraoui have been very, very good again. Casemiro's been a bit suspect. Mainu, it's been good to see. Bruno obviously has got 2 assists, so he's had a good game. Dalot, look, I think Dalot's doing a job for us. Ahmad, massive part to play on the second goal. Could have scored himself from that pass from Xerxes. Rashford, look, he's got a goal. I wouldn't say he's played well, but I certainly wouldn't say he's played badly. I think he's done okay. And Xerxes, similarly, I think has done pretty, okay. He scored a goal. Probably, to be fair for Xerxes, he's done well, hasn't he? Like, he could have had an assist for Ahmad, and he's got on the end of it. So I think that these sort of games for me are really important because you're not going to play well straight away. And what we're trying to do here is build a mentality and a work ethic. And one thing that's really impressed me in this game is that the intensity never dropped. Like, we have been quite disciplined in our approach to the game. Like, the tempo may have not been as quick as people want it to be, but tempo is very different to work rate. Like, we have been very motivated throughout the 45 minutes. And it sounds incredible to say that, but it has been a problem for United in recent years. So I think we're in a good position here. And I think in the second half, what I would do if I was Ruben Amorim would be, yes, you can bring Rasmus on. Yes, you can bring Garnacho on. Yes, you can bring on Luke Shaw. And yes, you can give them some minutes ahead of hopefully starting them on Wednesday. But you don't have to. You don't have to do that. Just for the, obviously a lot of positive stuff there. For the negative stuff, what I would say is if you play like that against Arsenal, you're getting hammered. Like this, Arsenal can score goals, Everton can't. And both our goals, we haven't carved Everton open enough, really, for me yet. So I think that we will have to keep improving, but I think today as well it's about signs of improvement, but it's also about getting 3 points. As I said, I'm not looking at top 4. I'm looking out, we're in the bottom half of the table. We could finish today in the top half of the table. Then can we get in the top 8? Then can we get in the top 6? Then can we look at top 4? Junior says, Rashford scored but still looks very lazy. I think Xerxes' style of football could be really beneficial. His passing today has been mostly great. I think Firmino at Liverpool, says Andy Mack. The system works. I think it's safe to say that now, says Andre. I actually disagree, Andre, actually. I'm going to pop on that super chat and say, I don't know what you're talking about, actually. The system works. I don't recognise the system. And you know what I mean by that? That's not how we played on Wednesday or even against Ipswich. Like we've got a striker who's dropping into the midfield, and we've got Bruno and Rashford who are free roaming. So I didn't see the discipline of what we saw with Mount and Garnacho and Rasmus on Thursday night. I think it's a very different way of playing. So I would say, Andre, it's encouraging that we're seeing Amorim adapt to different teams. Like it's almost like he's purposely gone, well, Everton are quite rigid. They play with 2 centre-backs or 3 or whatever. We're not going to attach any of our players to them. We're not going to give their centre-backs a player to mark. We're going to move around a lot. And I think he probably hinted at that in the press conference where he said Everton are hard-working, 50-50 balls. And what he hasn't done is put a striker up on their centre-backs. So I think he's adapted that. Obviously, the 3 at the back, I would agree. We can see the system there. The wide players again, we can see the system there, and the double pivot. But I think the way he's made his front 3 work has been very different. Great showing by United. Let's get the likes up, says Chanley. You can see what we're trying to do, but it's not slick at all. Players are a bit sloppy, but not always playing our strongest team at the moment, says LMP. We still give the ball away loads of times. Do you think that improves as the team gains confidence, or is it the players, says Billy? I think it will improve, yeah. Very good match from Bruno and Ahmad, and cannot wait for the FA Cup third round draw tomorrow night, says Mohammed. I'd forgotten about that. I always like, yeah, good point. Remember Berbatov being hounded by the fans because of his style. Hope Xerxes is treated better, says Avi. And funny how mainstream isn't talking about De Ligt anymore now that he's doing well, says Aidan Taylor. Yeah. This is some of the best football I've seen from United. Bruno is playing well, says Paulson. Ahmad is so intelligent, says DJ. I might be wrong, but this looks like we are counter-attacking long balls over the top. Can't dominate any midfield with this lot, says Pranav. It's funny, I don't know whether I put the tweet out, but we definitely discussed it. I think there were and has been a bit of a an attempt to go for the long ball, but we're in a comfortable position now. I think our pressing has improved a lot, says Jordan. Got to show some love to Ahmad, says J Drums. Branthwaite was never worth 70 million. He's overhyped and he's English, says Fuge. Are you doing City Liverpool on That's Football? I am, Tyler. 4 o'clock kickoff. I'm really curious how this high-tempo system is going to fare against a well-oiled Arsenal team. Do you think they press high early at the Emirates, says Jose? And hi, Mark. Genuinely had a night. Look, I think against Arsenal, we'll probably play like he played with Sporting, where it becomes a back five and we look to counter. And that's probably not a bad idea, Jose. Hi, Mark. William says, genuinely had a nightmare that we would lose 5-2 and Dyche was running around the pitch at Old Trafford topless, celebrating like a madman. My God, that is a nightmare. What did he do next? Do you still want the Everton defender, says Mr. Bruno? I don't want him. It's Ineos. Incredible how nobody mentions how bad Villa have been. Thank you very much for that. I'm just catching up on the Super Chats now. Bruno has been playing well under Amorim. I've also noticed a lot more regression in challenging for the ball. All our offensive players should press and anticipate like Ahmad, says Chiri. It's only the start, says Tim Hank, but we can all see that the lads' pressing is much better. Early days, couple of new players, and we are set. And Ben L says, the only sad thing about this new system is that we'll never get to see Fellaini. I think Xerxes' style of play could be beneficial, says Andy Mack. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Agate, Shaw. Right, just talking about any changes that you would make. Okay, I'll do that. Mason's just actually asked that. Any changes I would make? Well, I wouldn't make any changes at half time, but I suppose across the second half, Ruari says Agate, Shaw, Mount, and we win 5-0. Look, I think that if you're going to make changes, make them because you can, not because you want to. And what I mean by that is it beneficial for Agate to play today or train tomorrow ahead of Arsenal? Is it beneficial for Rasmus to do the same, Garnacho to do the same? I think it might be a case of if you don't need to use them, you don't use them. But like, I'll trust Amorim on that. And look, obviously, I don't really feel the need to bring Rasmus on because you could just keep him fresh for Arsenal. I could say the same about Agate. I probably would try and get Luke Shaw on because I think he needs minutes, and maybe Mason Mount as well. Got to work at 6 a.m, currently 12:30, worth not sleeping, says Ajit. Lovely stuff, mates. Well, I hope you're all enjoying it. 56,000 watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Just a shout out for the channel. There's my finger. 975. We are closing in on 2 million. The countdown from 25,000 starts now. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're actually only 200 subscribers away from 976. So it goes down to 24,000 countdown if we can do that. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock, and obviously match day, 2 o'clock in the day as well. Match day, loads going on. And in the second half, you can vote for your player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match. If I was giving man of the match at the moment, I think there can be only one. It would have to be Bruno. If I was saying who was the worst player on the pitch for Man United, God, I'm only answering what somebody said in the chat there. So yeah, I'd give Bruno man of the match at the moment. And worst Man United player on the pitch. And when I say worst, I mean, who's the least performing player? Like who would get the lowest mark? Because I wouldn't say they were terrible, but I'd probably say Casemiro or Dalot. I think Casemiro's been typical Casemiro, sort of hit and miss, and Dalot just doesn't look comfortable on the left-hand side. I don't think we're looking for long balls over the top. Feels like we're looking for a big switch to find Ahmad, and sometimes Dalot in space is Happy Hour Network. Thank you very much for your super chat. And Mohit says, Ruben Amorim advice, think less, creating opportunities for us, but still we are a lack of discipline in midfield. Or 3 in the back, and wanted to see more control of the game instead of long balls, says Mohit. Attic, welcome to the Members Club. And Branthwaite double agent to get moved to United, says Ravel. Needs to stick Agate in over Casemiro, says Ajit. Well, look, when you look at Branthwaite, he's cost them both goals. I love these boys. Come on, United, says Lady. Headed to Sevilla. What are the chances you think I'll run into Ricky? Says Umar. I don't know whether Ricky's out there at the moment. Probably is. And Noosa says, tactics and in-game management are what makes a great manager. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Xerxes has a real debut today and he's doing good. Get 3-0 and take off Bruno and Rashford, says Robert McCormack. And reiterating what you and Amorim have said, just win and buy some time. Trust the process, says Ankit. Do you notice changes in United set pieces, says Alan? And I would like to see how Xerxes mount behind Højlund with Bruno and Agate in the 6 and 8, says Kono. There was a question here I wanted to come back to. Does Amorim push for more goals or defend, says Channel E? And set pieces question. Look, if I was a pub team manager, I'd be furious about the first goal. It's brilliant from United. The Bruno ball, the Rashford hit, really good technique, but Rashford's well in the box. I don't understand how Everton leave a guy on the edge of the box like that. I'd be fuming about that if I was Everton, but United took advantage of it, and therefore you've got to look at the set piece, and actually when you see it, there's a lot of United players sort of pushing Everton players towards the 6-yard box, which creates that space. It's definitely come from the training ground, and you've got to give credit to it. So as much as you'd be pissed off if you're Everton, from a United point of view, it's definitely come from good set piece work. Interesting, Robert McCormack says take Bruno and Rashford off to rest them, presumably because he wants them to play against Arsenal. That's really interesting. I mean, Bruno will play against Arsenal. I don't know that I would start Rashford against Arsenal. I really don't. I mean, look, maybe I'll have an undroppable second half, but I don't necessarily think I would start Rashford because I'm starting Rasmus and I'm probably starting Mount. So it's either Rashford or Garnacho, I suppose. But I don't honestly think Robert, just because... Look, I'm going to be very consistent here. Player scores a goal and everyone has to sit down. No, it's not about that. Like, he scored against Ipswich and didn't have a good game. I think he's done well in the first half, but he's not back and he's not straight in the team because he scored that goal. It was a set piece that worked well. He's got good technique in and around the box, but I don't see that performance as you get to start against Arsenal. For me, I'm still very much Rasmus up front, Mount, and then there's one spot which could be Bruno, because you might want to be a little bit more pragmatic there and have Bruno, Mount, Agate and Mainu. So I don't know. Anyway, second half's up and running. Let me go back to standing. But that's there to be played for in the next 45 minutes, isn't it? To be fair. Get your Christmas jumpers if you want them. Delivered to your door worldwide. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. Oh, he's just scored! He's just scored straight away. Well, maybe he will be starting against Arsenal. Robert McCormack, he's back with that. And Ahmad with the assist. So actually, maybe he will now be starting against Arsenal. It's that simple. Silencing the critics. Probably a little bit there, to be fair. Probably a little bit. I'm not going to lie. 2 quick goals like that. That's what you want to see. You can't argue with it. Lovely little play. So quick from the kickoff as well. Everton asleep, but Man United, well, look, I'm going to pose it on Twitter. Is he back? Well, it's hard to argue with it. It's just really quick play. Bruno into Xerxes, and Ahmad's just got so much space. So much space. It's just really intelligent play, and it's a good finish. I mean, a lot of that comes from Ahmad, to be fair. It really just so intelligent. I mean, Rashford's run is really good and the finish is good, but so much of that comes from Ahmad and his ability to just hold up the play, and that's game over. That's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Superb. And I've just got to say, again, brilliant from Ahmad again. I mean, he's only got an assist. And... the the confidence now will be flowing through this team. And look, this is what we want, really. You know, on Thursday night, I think a lot of people were impressed with Mount. I think a lot of people were impressed with Rasmus and Agate. They don't start. And then after this game, you're going to get a lot of people impressed with Rashford, a lot of people impressed with Bruno, a lot of people impressed with Ahmad, maybe even Xerxes as well. So you've suddenly got... We're getting the bounce, aren't we? We're getting the bounce now that we knew that would probably come, that didn't come against Ipswich. But we're now starting to get the bounce that is a little bit delayed, but might be a more significant bounce because Amorim's maybe getting through to them. Maybe he's finally getting through to them. Harry Maguire says, Mark, it's confirmed we are well and truly back. And... are you going to still ban Robert? Robert was right, says River Mano. Got to give it to Xerxes there. What a pass. Well, he's just gone down injured here. Chiri says Ahmad has to stop putting good performances at right back or he will never play at the 10. I don't think he will, Chiri. I think that's a great point. I just don't see him. I'd like to see him playing in behind the striker, but I think he's the only one who can do the wing role. And the wing role is so important for Amorim that I just don't think we'll ever get to see him in that role. Alex, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Black Wolf says, I love this club, Mark. I had Xerxes to score on my parlay. Robert McCormack, I will still block you. He's trying to act like Rashford's always been brilliant. He's been shit for a year, mate. Come on. Give him the credit now. He's playing well, but don't talk about... You just annoy me because you're exactly what's wrong with this fan base, going on about, oh, it's not bias, it's obvious he's so good. He's been shit for a year. This is what we're talking about. It's this like, you know, everybody was wrong to criticise him. What did Amorim say? Amorim said, we can make him great, but he's got to want it. And obviously at the moment he wants it. And he'll get praised. He'll get praise from me, he'll get praise from you. He might get man of the match. But let's not pretend class is permanent or anything like that because he's been absolutely abysmal for a year. There is a talented player there, but it's not been unfair criticism. And Amorim himself said last week, he's got to want it. And for whatever reason, he hasn't wanted it. And for whatever reason, he does want it. And he's got to do it every single week. And if he can do this every week, as I've always said, he's paid to score 30 goals a season. And if he can do that, that's it. Time is in the wrong place. Apparently Mainu's going to miss the next game. How? Oh, yellow card for Martinez as well. You know, I need to just calm down a little bit here. Martinez chipped Beto, but De Ligt was there to cover, so it can't be a red. I don't think it can be a red anyway. Yeah, no, he's not the last man. De Ligt's the man. So Kobe Mainoo misses the next game. And Martinez. Oh my God. How's Mainoo got 6 yellow cards? He's missed about 2 months. What the fuck was he doing before he got injured? Punching people. The Mainoo one I don't understand. I can understand the Martinez one, but I don't know how Mainoo has accumulated that many yellow cards that quickly when... Appreciation for Ahmad. He's absolutely fantastic. Our best player at the club right now, says Callum. Look, Callum, if I was being a little bit niche, I would say that Ahmad's man of the match. But obviously Rashford's got 2 goals and Bruno's got 2 assists, and those things can be. I tell you what, some people are saying that Martinez should have got yellow carded because Beto was going to run past De Ligt, but it obviously wasn't given. It was given him as a yellow. Playing in midfield with Casemiro will do that, mate, says Thomas Hopley. You know, 88 says some of the pundits said Martinez should have got a red. You know what, I'll be fair. I think Beto maybe would have got past De Ligt and been one-on-one, but you can't send somebody off on a maybe. There is a covering player, therefore it's a yellow, but you can't... Admittedly, Beto might have had the run on De Ligt, but there is a covering player, so they're idiots for saying it should be a red. Playing in appreciation for Ahmad. Maguire's coming on. If Rashford does half of what Ahmad does, I'm good, says Christopher Day. Mark, you're wrong about Rashford. It's been a year and a half since he's been good. Once Yoro's back, we might see Ahmad in the number 10, says Dazzo. It's one game. You can't judge anyone on that, says Marty. Look back at the end of the season and rate players. And Ayman says... Mainu got a yellow. We'll miss the Arsenal game, says Ayman. Dimitri says you can feel it coming in the air tonight. And NAU, here's Rashford in again. What's he going to do? He wants a hat-trick. He's got plenty of time to get it. Too greedy. You see, I don't want to see that. It's not the Marcus Rashford channel. It's the United Stand, and that's just pure selfishness here. Like he's got Xerxes in the middle, and he's got to learn. You've got 2 goals, you've got everyone on your side, and you're trying to take on 3 players. Like, play the team game. Winchora, if it's one game, that's from Marty as well. Players are trying again after Ten Hag sacking. Get out, says NAU. Bring Shaw on in 69 minutes to get minutes for Arsenal, says Who to Blame. And Ryan Taylor says, is Ahmad our best player at the moment, Mark? No, I'd still say it's Mazraoui, but he is up there. No one doubts Rashford's ability. It's the consistency people take issue with, says RC. And can you address the yellow card rule on Goldbridge Saves Football? Awful rule, in my opinion, says Andres. Well, I think you've got to say it is an awful rule because Kobe Mainoo's been injured for 2 months and has still accumulated enough to get suspended. So, yeah, Luke Shaw's coming on with Harry Maguire here. So, I think Martinez will come off on a yellow card. And, no, De Ligt's coming off and Mazraoui's coming off. And that's probably just because of accumulation of minutes. That's just intelligent to give people a rest. Great goals. Rashford is still turning it on-off, says Rick. And Anthony says, I'm not going to get carried away with Rashford. The greatest challenge for Amorim is getting these players playing consistently well every week. Eugene says, Robert is smoking something. Share the recipe. I see a distinct style from the team. Excites me. Is this Amorim's ball birth at Old Trafford? Says Eugene. And Ardo says, we picked up too many yellows because of Ten Hag. It's his fault Mainu is suspended. Playing in the midfield with Casemiro will do that, says Thomas Hopley. And Noosa says, I said to Beth and also you, I had a feeling Xerxes would shine today. With height and strength, he will come good. Should be knocking in corners with his head, says Noosa. I think a lot of people said, well, I had Xerxes in my starting team. Good subs again as well, says Jar. Yeah, we're happy with those. I had Xerxes starting in the preview, and I think if a player's starting, You know, you want them to do well. I also said about Rashford playing in behind the striker, didn't I? That I had him in my team for the preview, and I also said that if that's the only position he's going to work in this team. The question is, can he make that place his own? There's a lot of competition in that area. Pip says, who's covering? The other defender is on the floor. I think, look, if you think that's a red card on Martinez, you're having a laugh. Like, the definition of a red card is the last man. He's not the last man. You can't start predicting the future of, oh, De Ligt was not going to be quick enough to get there. That's not what the rules are. It's not a red card. We don't want referees or VAR refereeing a game on predictability. You ref it on the facts. De Ligt was the covering defender, therefore he wasn't through one-on-one and one-on-one. Tom, thanks for your super chats. Appreciate that. In the other games, Chelsea are winning 2-0. Spurs are now winning 1-0 against Fulham. Brennan Johnson scoring there. So with regards to the top four at the moment, because people will start to dream, even though we're only playing Everton, they will start to dream. We are looking like this as it stands at the moment. We would be in 9th place with 19 points, but we would only be 4 off 4th place, which is Brighton. But you've still got a congestion of Man City, Tottenham. I mean, I would hope, with all respect, we play Forest next week, we would go past them. But then again, there's a midweek game as well. But I would hope in the fullness of time, well done, Bruno. Pickford came running out. Bruno, Mainu. I would hope in the fullness of time, when I'm looking at this league table, I would expect United over the next few weeks to go ahead of Brentford and Forest and get themselves into 7th. And that's the next stage. I said that. The first stage is to get into the top half. The next stage is to go above Brentford and Forest, get yourself into 7th, and then look at picking off maybe Spurs or Brighton or, dare I say it, City. But we're just going to have to do it gradually. And of course, we've got a massive test on Wednesday night where we might drop points and all those teams around us might win and put us back in the bottom half. That's the way the league works at the moment. We're only 100 subscribers away from 976,000. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United Stands. You're very welcome. What we got? Still got half an hour to go, actually. That early goal from Rashford at the start of the second half has really changed the game. It's just made it a lot more comfortable for us now. And I expect to see some subs that are about consuming energy, like Mazraoui. Getting Mazraoui and De Ligt off half an hour early with a game on Wednesday is just brilliant for us. I wouldn't be bringing Agate on because you don't need to. Train him tomorrow instead. Same with Rasmus. I wouldn't really be using him or Garnacho. Just keep them fresh for Wednesday night. It could all work out quite well. Doesn't mean we're going to beat them, by the way, but it just means that we can keep freshness. Edison is a really good option to have so much outside of the box. Xerxes is a really good option to have so much outside of the box. Ahmad has been amazing too, says Adzi. Thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate it. Top 4 in Europa League, Champions League incoming, says Ardo. You're talking to the wrong person if you want to start talking nonsense like that. There are propaganda channels for that sort of shit who set unrealistic expectations and then when they're not hit, start saying get the manager out. I've seen it before and I'm not getting involved in it. This is a slow burning progression and we will have ups and downs. So I'm not going to over-celebrate the ups and I'm not going to over-scrutinise the downs. We're a club that's been shit for a long time and we need to be patient. Man United's best player now is Zach, says Isaac. And Steve says, thanks Steve, 5-0, says Rooks. Everton have got a free kick here. Our best chance of getting in the Champions League is the Europa League. But you know what? Results breed confidence. We don't, very rarely do we win games by more than a couple of goals. So as much as there's still half an hour to go in this game, let's try and make it 4 or 5-0 because we don't do this very often and it can start to breed. I mean, I don't think we've been scintillatingly great. I think we've been efficient. I don't think we've been great, and it is only Everton. But I also think it's not a bad scenario for these players to get used to. Like getting games won early. Lewis, thanks for your super chat. Woody's gifted a membership as well. And my free kick straight into the wall. My band, The Now, were interviewed for United's monthly magazine. I gave this channel a shout out because I love the community, says Will Scott. Thanks, mate. And good luck with the band. I'm going to Google you now. The drummer you are then. "4-0, there we go. Xerxes got 2 as well. He's got his little celebration that he does as well. I don't know what that celebration is. I understand it when he does that bit, but what's all this bit that he does behind his back? 4-0, Manchester United. Ahmad with another assist. It's going to be hard to give man of the match. It's going to be so hard to give man of the match because part of me would want to give it to Xerxes. Part of me would want to give it to Bruno. But a massive part of me wants to give it to Ahmad. I mean, Ahmad hasn't scored, but I do think he is the guy. I think he is the guy. I think Ahmad, man of the match. He's just been just so good. He starts off so deep. And again, it's the press on Tarkowski. Look, there's people scoring goals off Ahmad's amazing work, is what I'm trying to say. Like, let's break this down. Man United are 4-0 up against Everton at Old Trafford with 25 minutes to go. How often does that happen? But let's break this down. Strikers are getting chances. The graveyard shift is turned into the supermarket. Like, Rashford's had a tap-in. Xerxes had 2 tap-ins. That's 3 chances. You're lucky if you get that in a season. So you've got to call out the fact that these goals, if Rashford missed his goal, if Xerxes missed his goals, we'd be going, oh my God, rubbish, absolute sitters. Where are these goals coming from? Well, one of them's coming from Bruno in a set piece. Agate and Garnacho are coming on. One of them's coming from a set piece from Bruno. The second goal comes from Ahmad's pressing and Xerxes gets a tap in. The third goal comes from Ahmad's individual work and Rashford gets a tap in. And then the third goal comes from Ahmad's dribbling and pressing again and Xerxes gets a tap in. So I think, yeah, look, you might be giving Xerxes man of the match. You might be giving Bruno man of the match. You might be giving Rashford man of the match. But this whole game for me, really 3 of the goals come from Ahmad's intensity and ability. And I think in the modern day, you should be looking at that. Bruno's coming off. Well, I tell you what, I think Amorim's listening to you lot because literally everything he does at the moment is just sort of like, why does Bruno need to stay on the pitch? He doesn't. Agate for Casemiro. I think that substitution is because Casemiro will be playing on Wednesday because we don't have Mainu. So I think that would have been a very different scenario if Mainu hadn't got that substitution, that yellow card. So I think that might be what that's all about. But Casemiro and Agate, I would imagine, on Wednesday with no Mainu. Will Scott, thanks for your shout out, by the way. And very well timed because we're talking to you when we got the 4th goal. Ardo says he's now testing combinations and dealing with injuries, but already love how Amorim uses the squad. Ahmad is easy man of the match, involved in all goals, says Fuge. Steve says, please stop giving other games scores. No. Weird. So the latest scores at the moment, Spurs are still winning 1-0 and Chelsea are winning 2-0. Why would I not do that? It's relevant. Ahmad just exemplifies everything we want a winger to be. He intensely followed the other side of the pitch, says SK. And Jerry says, Ahmad is the player I thought Sancho was going to be. Remember when we bought him because we didn't get Sancho, says Jerry. Ten Hag benching Ahmad was actually criminal, says it's CJR. What a monster. He's undroppable, is Ahmad, says D1. And who will start behind the striker on Wednesday, says Marike. Where did we get Ahmad from, says Kipper? Atalanta. Is Amorim a genius or was Ten Hag a complete fool? I mean, La Familia, can we just be... I don't like that comment. And I'll tell you why I don't like it. Because it's toxic. And you need to just move on. We're under a new era now. We're under an Amorim era. Stop looking back. Like, it's like saying, comparing tonight's dinner with last night's dinner. We're building something new. Stop looking back. These are the sort of conversations that lead to failure because it's Everton. It's Everton at Old Trafford. They couldn't score in a brothel. We've put them to the sword. We're getting better, but stop looking back. Shit ball by Rashford, you see. As soon as you start doing all that sort of stuff, the levels drop. It's interesting about Ahmad, though, because Sancho's playing for Chelsea, and he played for Chelsea on Thursday night. And Fulham have equalised against Spurs, by the way. I don't know whether that's a good thing. It is if we want to track Spurs down, I suppose. But, yeah, what I was going to say is Sancho is apparently doing quite well for Chelsea at the moment. And I think we're meant to go, oh, why did we let him go? Why did we let fucking Sancho go? Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking at Chelsea. Sancho's cooking at Chelsea, apparently. I don't know whether he is or he isn't. Because you know what? What am I supposed to do with that? Oh, I wish we'd kept him. Fuck off. Don't wish we'd kept him at all. We've got Ahmad. Don't need Sancho. We don't need Sancho. So I'm glad he's doing well at Chelsea because I want players that move on to go and do well. You know, we don't wish them any bad, do we? But we got what we got. Don't look back in anger, says HC. I'd like to see United get 5 or 6 here. Our goal difference, I really look at the league table as it stands. Our goal difference is at 4. Is it 4? No, is it? I can't read it. What's our goal difference right now? It is 4, +4. I mean, we've really struggled to get positive goal difference for about 2 years. So I would really like to see us maybe go and get a couple more goals here. Because if you did, this just puts you in good... Goal difference is really important, and we've been bad at it for a couple of years. So I'd like to see, when you're in a position like this with 20 minutes to go, you turn it into 6. Because it can be really important. Pascal says, I agree with not giving other scores because I would like to see them back later without knowing the result. It's more fun. I hope you understand. But I'm not going to not do it, Pascal. Sorry. I'm not going to not talk about other scores. It's not the BBC. With Bruno off and Casemiro off, who is captain, says Huge Lad. Maguire? I don't know. A good question. Who is the captain? I don't think it's Rashford. I think it's Maguire. Yeah. By the words of Oasis, don't look back in anger, says HC. Goodness me, we have an actual manager, says Ernest. Mate, all I'm going to say is, please don't start overreacting about where we are on this project. Everton are not very good, and we're playing Arsenal at Arsenal on Wednesday. And what I don't want to see is people going, we're back, we're cooking, we're this, we're that. And then Wednesday night we get beat by Arsenal. We're shit. We're absolutely shit. We've got to be patient, and we've got to be realistic, and we've got to enjoy the wins, but not go over the top, and we've got to accept the results where they don't go that well as part of the process. If we beat Arsenal on Wednesday, it's a different story. We're winning the league. Don't think we have a song for Ahmad, says Maz. Shout out to my mate Mark Maxey. He is new to the United stand, but I'm glad he's here. What a night to be a Red, says Foz. Well, welcome if you're new. Please subscribe. Everton fans are leaving, says Fuge. Come on. Nah, they need to get... I mean, we're not the Everton stand, but they do need to get rid of Deitch. The football's shit. I mean, I do That's Football. I'm doing Liverpool against Man City after this. And so I watch a lot of other football. And a lot of you watch That's Football as well. I don't understand why Everton stick with Deitch. I really don't. You've got Bournemouth, who are a team that potentially should be getting relegated. They play good football. The football is crap. It's really crap. Everton's football's crap. They played well for about half an hour, but they can't score goals. Owen says, I hope Rashford can find some stability with Amorim since that England's left wing spot is up for grabs. I'd start Gordon for defensive work over him, says Owen. Amorim I'd love Anthony Gordon at United, by the way. I think he'd be brilliant on the left-hand side of that system. If you had Ahmad on the right and Anthony Gordon on the left, oh, God, be perfect. Alberto says, Amorim's on another level, subs and style of play. Ahmad says, real and complex, says, Ahmad's way better than Garnacho. They don't even play in the same position, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Someone clip that. Bruno's been officially subbed, says Matthias. And Ankit says, Bruno subbed. I love this manager. Patrick Lynch says, I'm delighted for Xerxes, but Ahmad easily man of the match. Well, the great thing about the player ratings is that, is there a player that's going to get lower than a 6? I think there's a few 7s in there. I certainly think Ahmad's an 8. Interesting. We're cooking, Mark. We're 4 points off City, says Jay. Long time since 9 shots with 4 goals, says P. Milligan. I think Mainu needs to be really, really careful. He's on a yellow card and he's had a couple of tackles that easily could have been yellows. We don't want to concede. Lovely play by Martinez there. Mazraoui, Mr. Consistent again, says T-Man. We want 5. We want 5. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I never know how man of the match is going to work. But if Ahmad gets man of the match, hasn't even scored, and it would be great. That's modern football for me. Nick P says, Xerxes got so much energy, I love it. Competition for places, that's what we want. And look, lots of love in the chat for Xerxes, which is great because, again, a bit like Agate, we had some morons in our fan base that were writing these players off with very little evidence or chance, and it takes time to adjust. I mean, look at Onana last year and look at him this year. That was a whole year of mistakes, really, and he's been a lot better this year. But it seems to me these days people don't even get 5 minutes. Someone said Rashford's captain. I would hope he's not, but realistically, if he is, you know, maybe that's just another indicator of how important he is to Amorim. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's a captain material. I really don't, but especially when you've got Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire on the pitch. Martinez is captain. I don't think anybody knows who the captain is. I think everyone's just winding people up. I don't think Rashford's captain material at all. More than 4 players on 7 or above on the player ratings today, Mark, says Josh. I would hope so. Xerxes could do a Joel Linton, apparently. Low-key, we're second best defensively in the league, says Akshay. And Xerxes could do a Joel Linton and thrive in midfield, says Club. As of now, do you prefer the new European format, says Connor? No. No, I don't think I do. Can I just say Xerxes' first touch, 10 on 10, says Sean Dunn. Well, it's nice to see people giving him some credit. Oh, dear. Noosa says, what's going on? Only a third of my super chats read out, Mark. I said to you and Beth I had a good feeling about Xerxes today. No, you're just not listening, mate. I've read every one of yours because I've read about 4 and I've definitely read about Xerxes. So you're not listening. Get yourself to the doctors. Looking forward to your tantrum after hearing me say, thank God Amorim doesn't see Casemiro as you do, says Kevy. I can't tantrum about something I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't think Casemiro played well either, so I don't know what your point is. I think he was bang average today, actually. 6 for me. Osman available in January. Should we go for it, says Nick. Oh God, Nick. I don't think we'll go for a striker in January if we've got Xerxes and Rashford scoring goals. I don't think they would go for a striker, but I think we do need one. But if Ahmad's still playing, will he play on Wednesday? Says Alejandro. Yeah, because he didn't play. He didn't play on Thursday, did he? Don't think Ahmad played on Thursday, did he? I can't remember now. God, he makes so many bloody changes. Brilliant, United. Thanks, Mark, for this community, says Endoom. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner on the road to 2 million. Don't forget to do your player ratings as well. Really looking forward to doing those. I mean, it's a rarity, and hopefully it becomes a regular thing where we actually get to see United players putting in good performances and be praising towards them. Mason Mount's going to come on. So no minutes for Rasmus at all, which probably bodes well for him starting on Wednesday. Mason Mount's going to come on for Mainu, who probably going to get sent off if he wasn't careful. Can't play on Wednesday, which is just so annoying. So annoying. I just don't know how he's picked up so many yellow cards when he was injured. I know what the title of the match reaction is. Nice ball into Luke Shaw. Cuts it back into Rashford. Little back heel. And it was Garnacho who got the shot off. Glazers out says, Mark, we've hardly played any long balls today. Isn't that good? And how good do you think Ahmad can be as good as Saka, says United 1. Chill. Chill. We've been here before. New manager bounce. We've been here before. Just chill. Just enjoy every game and stop setting targets. It's the best way to be. Enjoy the moment. Live in the moment. Put your phones away and live in the moment. The great thing about subbing Bruno when he's playing well is that it can allow Amorim to sub him if he plays badly. Takes pressure off of Bruno without hurting his confidence. Excellent man management, says Ollie Phillips. Great point. I mean, the reality of him subbing Bruno was because Bruno has played every minute of Ipswich, Bodo Glimt, and we're playing against Arsenal on Wednesday. So he's made that substitution to give him a bit of a rest. Good goalkeeping by Onana there. That's why he's done it. But you're right, it still stands true to what you said. How good do you think Ahmad can be, says United 1. We've hardly played long balls today, says Glazers out. Rashford's ground covered is the highest in years, says Happy Hour Network. Which one would you choose, Højlund or Xerxes, says Sergio. Do we credit the system or the players, says Jabbo. 100% the system. We've seen these players. We know what they're like. Arsenal game will be high scoring, says La Familia. Who would I play, Rasmus or Xerxes? Well, look, I'll look. If you've got to pick one of them in the striking position, who would you go with? Away from home, I think you've got to occupy centre-backs. I don't think you can play with a false 9 away from home. I think you've got to try and occupy their centre-backs. Otherwise, Saliba and Gabriel will just wander forward. So you've got to try and pin their centre-backs back. So we haven't seen Xerxes play that way today. He's not occupied centre-backs at all. He's played very much deeper. So I would play away from home. I'd play the striker that's going to pin the centre-backs back because you need to... We're not going to have as much ball. At home, if we're at home to Arsenal, you might try something a little bit like that. It's Ahmad's show, your title. You get it, says Christopher. Arsenal are fast. I worry for our back three setup, says Jaded. Yeah, look, I don't know. I know this game is effectively over, so I know why people are talking about Arsenal, but you know, Arsenal aren't unbeatable, but they are favourites. So let's not start trying to think that we can go there and find ways of winning. We're not that yet. So we need to just go into that game, and I'm looking forward to it in the sense that I think we'll probably lose based upon evidence, but I'm quietly optimistic that we might come out of it and go, there's a lot to take from that. And maybe it might be a point. Maybe it might be 3 points. But if we can come out of that game better, the result really isn't that important because you've got Forest on Saturday. If you win that, we're still progressing up the league. How do you what? Okay, not answering that. I totally agree that we shouldn't overhype this result. Even if we did qualify for the Champions League, the team isn't ready to compete at that level yet, says Gian. Great save by Onana. He will not be beaten. Even the keeper's now pushing for man of the match. I mean, Maguire I was straight at him, to be fair. But, you know, those are the sort of ones that are sometimes more difficult for a goalkeeper when it's right in on your body. Maguire a little bit slow on that one, but he is only just coming back from injury. We need Mazraoui on Saka's side. We can't have Delo, says Seb. Well, remember, I'm going to be on That's Football. We've got the fan forum after my match reaction. I'm going to be on That's Football because I'm doing Man City against Liverpool at Anfield, which very different type of game, but I'm sure a lot of us will be watching that, so you can join me for that as well. Man United 4-0 here. I'd love us to get a couple more. We might be running out of time to do it now, but here's Garnacho into Xerxes, lovely touch, and Rashford shot's terrible. Probably should have looked for a pass there again, to be fair. But once his hat-trick, can't deprive him of that. Well, there's two players on a hat-trick as well, Xerxes. Ahmad's down injured here. Maybe we should have took him off. Definitely can't be doing without him. Just a bit worried about Ahmad here. It's definitely a break in the play. No, he's all right. He's up. He's up, which is good. Chelsea 3-0 up. Cole Palmer's scored. I just saw someone going like that. Dear, I tell you what, Villa, he's going through a bit of a bad time, isn't he, old Emery? Oh, he's had the praise, and now Now he's going to be getting the criticism, really. Chelsea are... Tell you what, Chelsea are good as well. Chelsea are doing very well. That's a good goal by Cole Palmer, by the way. Watch that back. Edge of the box. It's brilliant. It's really good. Really good. Really good goal from Cole Palmer. And looks like Spurs are going to draw with Fulham as well, which is probably not a bad result for us. Very good goal by Cole Palmer. Another good win for Chelsea. It's very competitive at the moment. Every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. Stand up, stand up. Okay, Rashford play in helping the team needs improving, says Tari. Nitin says it would be progress if we could have a semblance of a high pressing and good possession against Arsenal. No hyping till 18 months of Amorim. I agree. I'm really all in on a long process at Manchester United, and I just don't see the point in top four talk or anything like that. It's the same as when we drew with Ipswich, and it was like, in a way, I thought it was quite good because it showed the reality of the situation. Mazraoui has been the perfect signing, says Mark Dennehy. He gets what it means to play for United, always available, and is willing to adapt to any position and system, all for less than 15 million. Absolutely spot on, sir. First time in years, relaxed watching them, says the Lost Poet. Good point as well. Rashford done that one. Opinions on Branthwaite, says Nathan. I mean, look, if we're signing Branthwaite, fine. Ineos are convinced about Branthwaite, so let us know. A draw would be a good result against Arsenal, says Alex. Has Yoro had a setback? Why we're not seeing him yet, says Ryan. I don't think he's had a setback. I think it's just about taking your time, isn't it? Rasmus and Joshua Xerxes together isn't a bad idea, says Ghost Vibes. And hi, Mark. Do you think Robbie Savage sits at the Christmas table with his family in a 4 at the back formation? Also, Ahmad is on fire. Great team results. Don't forget to do your player ratings for the match reaction, by the way. Really want to see what your scores are. Without overhyping it, the Arsenal game is interesting. It's theirs to lose, and regardless of the result, it will be a good learning moment. I agree, Teddy. I've seen great improvement in Anana, says Tom. Who do you want in the FA Cup, says Blanket. I'd like an interesting game. I think you always wanted an interesting game. Yeah, I think, look, on the other hand, with the amount of games that we've got, I probably would like Bromley or Solihull Moors at home would be good as well. So 4 minutes added on. Let's have a look at those stats, actually. Pause. 60% possession, 89% pass accuracy, 11 shots, 5 on target. It's been, you know what, it's been a little bit closer in the stats than I actually thought it was going to be. Not that that matters, but what it has been is clinical. And it's been clinical because the quality of our chances that we've created, you would have expected Xerxes to score both of his and Rashford to score his second one. The first goal was a little bit different, but clinical finishing because of good quality assists from Bruno and Ahmad. And that's the difference. Everton, we mentioned this. It's been mentioned about Everton for a long time that they are a team that don't score goals. 4-0. Oh, no, it's not 4-0. I thought they'd scored 4. We're 10 subscribers away from 976,000, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on that road to 2 million. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, to the United Stand. Live content every day. 8 o'clock tonight as well. We will be live. Match reaction straight after this. Nice 3 points. United into the top half of the table as well. Progress. 85% of you would start Rasmus over Xerxes. Ahmad wants a penalty here. I don't think he's going to get it. Referee waved play on. Solihull Moors are playing on ITV, Mark. I think that was a penalty. Oh, Nativity's on. It's at the Moors as well. No, it's not. Yes, it is. They've got the cameras at a different place. Well, VAR's not reviewed this yet, and I think they bloody should have done. Referee just wants to get done. Could have killed him, ref. VAR must be asleep, says Galactico. Oh, I think it was a penalty. I don't know why they didn't give it. They're definitely not going to give it now. Nice for Luke Shaw to get another half an hour in as well. I can't believe they didn't give a penalty for that. Right. Well, I've got to be quick anyway because I've got to be on That's Football in 35 minutes. So straight on to the match reaction after this. Legends in the community again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And that's the final whistle. United win 4-0. Amorim ball up and running. First Premier League game at home as well. He'll be very happy with that. You've got to win those sort of games, of course. They can be problematic, especially in the past. But look, maybe the title of the match reaction gives away who I'm going to give man of the match to. I'd be surprised if anyone else doesn't, but you never know. There were some other options in there. Let's get over there. Clean sheet as well, which I think is very important. 3 big points. We're into the top half of the table as well. Thanks everyone for watching the watch along. Get yourself over to the match reaction. Links in the description to do the player ratings. I'll see you over there in a couple of minutes.